A lot of companies across China, including those in the manufacturing sector, have joined and become mass producers. I mean, for you, the company is the only wind turbine producer to be making masts right now. What's the thinking behind it?
Initially, we see a huge gap between supply and demand because I'm the strong believer the early protection is very essential. So we calculate at the middle of February, the production supply is only about 50 million, but there's 1.4 billion Chinese people. And also, I predict that probably there's going to be outbreak globally. So we realize we, as a wind turbine, but also a battery OEM, so we have the technology on equipment automation. At the same time, so we are able to dealing with high clean room standards. So we decided to fill the gap. Now, especially, so we as a company have a strong sense of urgency because we are dealing with global crisis on the climate every day. We know urgent action is very important. So which train us to see this, the virus is kind of global health crisis. We need to take action immediately. That's the motivation we set the factory.
You did all of that in 15 days. How did you tap your experiences in wind turbine, in manufacturing, to then produce masks?
Yes, so we have a very strong supply chain base. We have all kinds of suppliers on the advanced equipment. At the same time, so we're also producing battery cell in Japan. So we convince some very top quality supplier conveyed the separator production into the melt blown fabrics, which is very essential for mask production. At the same time, so we are very good on this clean room setup, all kinds of things, digital operations.
Yeah, tell us a little bit some of the lessons that you're learning from building face mask production center. Does it make you rethink some of the opportunities and risks when it comes to global supply chains? Are there things that could change after all this?
Yes, we have already shipped a few million masks globally to Japan, to Europe, to Italy, Germany, and to this hospital, and to our customers, and also to someone we never known, but we think they need our support. The virus is go beyond the board. I think the compassion and the unity should go beyond the board as well.
Envision has a very large domestic wind market. China is also recovering and coming back to work now. How has this outbreak really impacted the wind business now? And given that we still see this pandemic really impacting countries globally still?
Yes, I think there's some short-term impact on the supply chain of wind turbines. And also there's some short-term impact on the car OEM, on the battery demand. But we think this global crisis on not only is on health, but also on climate. This trend is still continuing, and we still expect there's 50% growth on our global wind turbine production this year. So I think it's still the future on renewable is still very good.
Why the optimism given that oil prices have crashed?
Yes, so oil and gas, they are commodity. Their price is driven by the imbalance of supply demand. So lots of short-term volatility. But if you look at wind, solar, and the battery, they are new oils. They are technology-driven. So they are going down the cost curve around 10 to 15% a year. So now wind and solar have been already cost competitive than oil and gas. So we think this kind of long-term technology leadership is continuing to show the strength, and especially what we look at the oil costs. So we didn't include the cost of carbon and the cost of the environment, which is very essential. So I think that's why the investor who invest in wind and solar, they not only look at the short term, but also on the midterm and long-term environment issues, also on the cost volatility as a perspective as well.
Lei, how are you positioning Envision for the end of wind turbine subsidies in China?
Yes, so Envision is well positioned, not only in China, but also for the world. So this year, China is taking away the subsidy for wind, and probably next year for solar. So we see Envision have a strong cost leadership because we have leading technology in the domain, but also in AI and IoT. We make smart wind turbine, which is more efficient to capture more energy, also to save material cost for wind turbines. So which actually, this kind of subsidy going away, which is make the technology company like Envision give us the more advantage to lead and consolidate the market.